Okay, go for it.
Namaste. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. In my timeline, anyway. Good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another Friday live Qigong afternoon practice with Golden Light Network. So, without further ado, we'll do our usual. So, we'll be warming up the body as long as you've got enough space to move your hands around your back like this. You'll have plenty of space and enjoy. So let's make a start just warming up. We go through the same warm up every week because it just helps. That routine, that rhythm can help set the body up to ready itself for some movement. So just turning our wrists, flexing the fingers, a nice figure of eight in there, just to help loosen up. We're just loosening up the joints and what they call the fascia, the connective tissue, and getting the body ready for a gentle bit of movement. So we're going back the other way. And let's warm up our shoulders. So taking the shoulders, pushing the backs of the palms forward and bringing the arms round. So letting the tops of the shoulders and the arms, the shoulder blades really move the rest of your arms. So the lower arms and your hands are just following along with the rest of your body. That's it. And the opposite way. Really accentuating the back of your hands, pushing behind you just to give them a bit of extra rotation. And let's go backwards again, just to open up that chest again and the arms. Lovely. So let's open the neck and get a bit of twist in. Always be careful with your neck and listen to what feels right for your body. We can move it in three ways, up and down, left and right, and tilted sideways. So just be aware, find what feels good in your body. So this one, Al turns its head, is just to open up the sides of the neck. So we take our hands kind of in front of the pelvis. We're just going to take them round to the sides, pushing those fingertips down and look into those right hand fingers. And back to center and to the opposite side. And we'll just do this a few times to ease out any tension in the arms, opening up the fascia and the meridians in the arms, keeping a nice lift in the crown. So you can imagine you've got like a magnet line of opposition between your tailbone and the crown of your head. So you're just staying aware of that, imagining them 2 points pushing away from each other. And that'll give a bit more extra support to your neck and your spine. The opposite way. Really letting them fingertips drop. And final time, we'll just hold for a breath or two. Really relaxed in the shoulders, lifting in the crown. Really letting them fingertips drop. And the opposite way. Couple of breaths. Really feeling that in the backs of my shoulder blades. Quite pleasant to open up. And gentle shake. If you're ever feeling the need, always let it all shake out. Right, so let's open the sides of our neck with stork spreads its feathers. So we take the palms facing forward and we're just going to scoop round and lift up. And I'll show you from the side this time. So the hips go back as the arms come forward, round, standing straight. And again, we're just pushing them fingertips down. Final time, bringing the arms around, scooping. Imagine pushing water and then lifting in the crown, pushing them fingertips, well, dropping them to the floor, letting gravity do the work, and then keeping a lift in your crown. We're just going to take the neck carefully, imagining that opposition line, this time between the top of our head and the tips of the opposite fingers. And we're just going to release any tension this way in the top of the arm, the shoulders, and in the neck. Just very gently easing the neck over the shoulder, loosening any tension or tightness. It's got a nice yawn out of me. Always let your body, if you do feel a yawn come, let it out. I see it as just the body relaxing and releasing some form of tension. Breaths away, we receive a lot of energy, and a lot of ways we release it, especially with a sigh. A nice long deep breath. Okay, so hopefully we're nice and loose in the neck now. So let's open up our hips and waist. So we'll just start with the upper body. Just imagine the hips are set in stone. Everything from the hips down stays still, and we're just open up the waist and the side body. Side body one we don't always open up, and going the opposite way. Lovely, and back the opposite way. So let's bring in our hips now. So we're moving the hips in the opposite direction. Just still imagine when your hips are going to the side, imagine a bit of a stretch and a lift in this side and in this side, just to again keep that nice openness. Lifting the crown, but also we're opening the hips, the waist, and also giving a bit of extra space in the abdomen, so we let the sides open as well. And the opposite way. The Chinese say if there's one movement you do every day, make it this one. So right, let's do our tray of teacups to fully open that one up. So we take our palms facing the ceiling, just facing the forehead kind of level, and we're going to bring them round. So those fingers face forward, fingers face you, fingers face away, and fingers face the wall behind. So again, facing forward, figure of 8 to come face your abdomen, figure of 8 face away, and up. And then when you feel ready, once you've got the arm movement, you can bring in the hips. So the hips are going round to the side. And you'll find that you've gone backwards at this point so that you've got some space for your hands to come in. So your hips, it's almost like as your hands come round, they're pointing your hips in the direction they want to be going to make that nice circle. Keeping a bit of a lift in the crown. And this one, just bringing that spiral energy. Chinese say to do this every day. You think about it, plants and trees, the helix of DNA. So much of life seems to spiral. Even water when it's flowing, that whirlpool kind of effect. Just letting the body fully open. And when we get to the top next time, let's take it the opposite way. Really relaxing the shoulders, just letting this be a loosening for the body. I've got my toes nice and spread out on the floor as well to just get some spaciousness in my feet. I like to take my shoes off when I do Qigong, just to give my feet the space to stretch. They can be quite constricted in shoes sometimes. I like to do this when the weather's nicer as well, when it's warm enough. Outside barefoot on the grass, especially when that sun's shining. Be nice to try this on a beach as well sometime. Okay. So just drop the arms down to the sides, give yourself a nice little last stretch, pushing them palms as if they go into the corners of bottom corners of the room. Release and shake it out. Okay, so hopefully the whole body is nice and loose. Let's just get a slight bend in the knees if you're standing, just to again wake up and loosen up. You can push your palms just up and down them upper legs. Again, it's just bringing a bit of awareness into the body, letting it know we're doing some movement. And then when you get down there, you can circle. Always be aware of your body. I'm very gentle with my knees because I can be quite sensitive here. Meet your body where it's at in any given practice some day, because it will be different day by day, depending on what you've been doing and how life is going. And your feet and ankles. So just, again, bringing that circle into the feet. Really flexing the toes here, let them get nice and spacious, and the ankle. Often we walk, we run, whatever way we move through the day, we can be on our feet quite some time, sometimes just even in the shopping and the housework, but really just giving the ankles space to just loosen and release tension can be quite nice, because it's something we don't necessarily think about unless people are consciously warming up for a sport. Okay, so hopefully that's the whole body nice and open. So let's start to move on to our practice. So we start as standard in Wuji, but let's shake the tree first. Let's release any excess energy, and then we can move into the flows. So if you're seated, you can start with your wrists, bouncing into the arms and the shoulders. Relaxed in the shoulders, and if you're standing, you can then bring that bounce in the whole body. I imagine lifting and dropping from this point, more from the tailbone, so it's not as if I'm dumping in the knees, I'm keeping lifted in the crown. So it's nice and relaxed, it's nice and gentle on the knees, and the knees can loosen up too. And the final steps to just add that audible sigh, that Say this every week. I've one study that tried 3 different types of breathing. It was the audible sigh that showed the most responses in stress relief responses in the body. In a world that can be quite busy and saturated in stress, the body, we can support with that easy sigh. Like rocking a baby, we tap them, we rock them. We can do that for our own system. Shake off the day. Quite literally, I do this one every night. Give or take. Sometimes it's just a minute or two where I just draw down the heavens, just to release things from my body and get my body ready for bed. We can gently turn from side to side as well if we're standing, or if you've got the space seated, just to open up a twist in the spine. You can always follow through if you want to as well. And just give your lower back a gentle knock. This one's called knocking on the door of life. And again, that can just wake up some of the energies. They believe that in Chinese medicine, the body's energy, the Jing, is stored here in the lower body. So we can just gently twist and open that up again with that spiraling type movement. We can just open the whole body with a gentle knocking and tapping. So if you ever feel a bit tense or a bit tight, just a gentle knock up and down the arms. Just a couple of times to each side. You can knock on your chest. Bit of a Tarzan to wake up your chest. Again, you can knock your kidneys, your glutes and the backs of your legs, down the sides of your legs, just sighing as you do, releasing any tension and tightness. I tend to go around the hips and the pelvis if I ever do this as well, just to open that up, be as gentle or as firm as feels right for your body. And then again down the backs and the sides and back up to the hips. So that's another one you can do just to release any tension or tightness from your body before you want to start a flowing practice. So let's go into Wuji and start today's practice and flows. So for those that haven't done it before, Wuji, we stand always feet shoulder width apart, so slightly wider than hip width. Got a slight dipping of the tailbone. So there's a slight bend in the knees, but not overly tense. I've got my toes spread nice and wide, like my fingers. My toes are spread nice and wide, just to give a bit of spaciousness in the toes and just to open the fascia, the connective tissue in the body, something yin yoga tends to access too. So dropping in the shoulders, so they're nice and relaxed, like rounding in the arms. We're going to bring our palms before our abdomen and just wiggle your fingers. Bring in some awareness to your fingers and spreading them a little bit wider than perhaps normal. Again, just to bring some awareness and imagine just lifting slightly from your tailbone. I imagine literally like a zip from here, zipping up, and that just provides a bit of extra support to the legs and the knees, just lifting in the core. And finally, we're just going to tuck the chin and lift the crown. So what this is doing is just opening up the fascia in the body, and it's allowing our energy to build a bit. Your body in an alert but restful phase. Breathe in low and deep into the abdomen, seeing where your breath is naturally landing in your body, and seeing if you can let it sink any further. Staying aware of those fingertips, whole body awareness. That's like lifting the hip area, the core, the lift of the crown, just feeling nice and spacious through your whole body. And just being aware of how your body feels in this moment, aware of the breath, your heartbeat, and really just focusing on breathing into all four sides of the torso, feeling the front of the body and the back of the body stretching, the sides of the ribs, all the way up to the clavicle, right at the top of the chest. When we breathe more deeply, we can allow more oxygen into the body. One way stress becomes embodied is through shallower breathing. So when we give our body, especially that deep abdominal breath, can bring more oxygen and more movement in the diaphragm, really massage them internal organs as well. Full awareness in the fingertips. You can do this seated. You'll see a seated video version up on the Golden Lightwork Network within the next week. And we just hold that for a minute or two before every class. So we can build a bit of energy, and you can always tip a slight bit towards the ball of your foot. That can help increase the energy. The Jing activates a meridian point, the bubbling springs they call it, to help balance the energies of the body. And you can place from this point your tongue just to the roof of your mouth, but not touching the teeth. And that just connects the energy pathways from the front and back of the body, like closing the circuit. If you've ever, as a child, done that experiment where you connect a light bulb to a circuit, it's like turning on the light bulb, closing that circuit. Okay, let's flow. So our first one is compressing the pearl. So if you remember, this is one like pumping a bellows. Hands are at pelvis level. We lift and we sink slightly. Arms lift and we sink slightly. And this time we add the breath. So we breathe in, imagining the energy lift from the abdomen to the chest and back from the chest to the abdomen. So link this to your breath. Your arms flowing with your breath. Really feel that center of gravity rise to the chest and then back to the abdomen, spreading the fingertips. So you've got plenty of spaciousness in the palms. And let your shoulders really lift the rest of your arms. So my elbows and my wrists almost stay fixed in place. It's the shoulders that lift them and bring them back down. And let your breath be at the edge of that comfort zone. Just stretching the relaxing benefits of that deeper breath before we go on to flying hands. So hands come to rest at the sides of the abdomen before we move on to flying hands. Hands lift up the sternum, wrists turn, and we drop. So again, we've got the center of gravity rising up the torso to the chest and the heart. Wrist turns, so the fingers turn because the wrists have turned. We turn from the wrists. So we lift. Arms come slightly wider at the front to shoulder width, and then narrow again to come up the torso. So we breathe in. Arms slightly widen, wrists turn, and breathe out. Slight lift. Wrist turn and breathe out. With your breath. Final time. Okay, arms again, rest at the sides. You can always have a shake if you ever feel the need. You can hold the Wuji posture throughout the practice. The longer you build it, the more you might feel the benefits of the energy building and flowing. As we go to open the chest, so palms face down, and we literally open the chest. So, breathing in, to lift and open. Exhale and sink. So again, with the breath, breathing in to lift as that center of gravity rises to the chest. And breathe out. And you'll be able to see from the side, so my palms still, they don't go past my shoulder level. Just gently opening the chest, the flows. We're in a nice, alert, and yet relaxed and gentle phase. So we're not overstretching or overstrenuous with these. We've opened up the connective tissues and we're just letting that blood and the energy circulate through the body. Lovely. Okay, so let's go on to swimming dragon. So taking them palms facing the floor, one palm facing up, one palm facing down now. And this is the one that we say is like two elevators passing. And then we turn around that middle finger like a lock in a key, trying to keep the hands parallel. And then meet in the middle, they push away. So we turn around that middle finger like a key in a lock, bring them together and push us apart. So this one, just bringing some spaciousness into the vertebrae, as well as a slight openness and awareness through the arms. So again, we're not overly stretching. We're at a nice comfort zone where the elbows are slightly bent. I'm going to turn that key in the lock and bring the lifts to pass. And when the lift next pass, we'll bring in the breath. So as we turn, We hold and then we breathe in. When they meet, we breathe out to push. We hold the breath to turn, breathe in, breathe out to push. Again, find the flow in your breath and body. Maintaining that nice lift in the crown. Nice and relaxed in the shoulders still. Right. And then bring the hands back. Again, you can have a shake out if you feel the need. Just notice how your body feels now. Just maybe scanning your spine and your back before we move on to bear goes swimming. So bringing the hands up to the chest level as if this one's embrace the tree. This time we're going to turn the palms so we've got a nice diamond shape and it's like we're doing breaststroke. So we're going to open and lift, and this is when we breathe in a nice deep breath, breathing into inspiration, and then we're releasing. So finding where it meets your breath, remembering to go to that edge, get the maximum benefit of this deep breath, the relaxation, as we slow and still the mind and the body and the breath together. When the body is slower and more gentle, more open the mind can be. So when we change any of these states, whether it's the breath, the mind, or the body, the rest of the system can come into alignment with that. So if there's anything new, you're needing new inspiration, ideas, a particular energy, as you breathe in, really invite that in, breathing in inspiration. It's the way we breathe. We get energy into the body, a lot of it's through breath as well as nutrition. So really allow yourself to be replenished and to release everything you don't need. Final time. And we're just going to bring them arms in. Just hold them in front of the chest. Really breathe that deeply into the heart, the lungs, the body. Letting the breath fall deeply and notice how you feel. You can just open to receive. We can simply breathe, breathing in and letting that be enough. Just giving ourselves this time. Arms at abdomen level. And this time we're going to go flying to draw down the heavens. So we're just going to imagine a slight lift and relaxation, arms and fall. So like we're flying a bird in the air. When I do this at night, I imagine I'm an owl and I'm just gently breathing in to lift and breathing out. And I'm just rising above the clouds, above any worries of the day. I'm just letting myself feel light as a bird. Flying over the day's events, flying over the world events and everything that I've got going on in and around me. Feeling myself weightless, relaxed in those wings rising on the currents. And this next time, we're going to let them wings lift and we're going to go all the way around and draw in the heavens. And we're going to let that purple light wash all the way through the body, scanning, releasing any tension or tightness that may be left, and bringing in whatever quality of energy, whatever state of being will most serve us now, whether it's some calm or peace or love, supportiveness, comfort. Let it wash through your whole system. Final time. Okay, so this time let's bring our hands together over our abdomen and seal in our practice. So we seal it in again at that lower dantian abdomen area. So circling our large intestine, so you'll be going up the right hand side of your body, across and down the left. And again, you can open up, a slight twist in the spine as well. I just imagine plenty of spaciousness here from our internal organs. So much of what we receive and integrate in our body, process through our body, is happening right here. So we're just giving that a bit of extra focus, a bit of extra love, noticing the breath, bringing it to a center, and again in that Wuji posture, and bringing the legs together if you're standing, slight bend in the knees as we rock and sway like bamboo in the wind. Lifting the crown, tucking in the chin, slight bend in the knee, letting that tailbone dip. And imagine a marionette string coming out the top of your head, so you feel relaxed and lifted, spacious and light, so you can let your body rock and sway. Let it move where it wants to move. Let the breath land where it wants to land. Breathe in deep, still into all four sides of the abdomen again, and your whole body, whole mind, into the center of your abdomen now. You could imagine a white light in the center of your abdomen just to help anchor your mind there too. As we take a final deep breath, perhaps another little circle, and release with an audible. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Hopefully that's left you feeling a little looser, more energized, and full of whatever quality of energy you most need. So thank you for joining us. You're welcome to like, subscribe, and share in the Golden Light Network and our channel anywhere and with anyone you think it'll serve. Thank you. This practice has definitely benefited me, so I hope it helps and serves others. And we'll be here again, same time next week on Friday. Take good care, and we'll see you soon. Namaste.